Semitesh,
Yes.
Semitesh. अच्छा JP sir ने
I was calling him. Didn't pick. Let me see.
okay.
I called him. Whether please check whether student is.
Hello sir.
live
streaming ഇപ്പോൾ പോയി തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട് ഒന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യോ
ഞാൻ നോക്കാം yes
കുളിക്കാൻ പോയി കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് വാലടച്ചിട്ട്
आणि एक मिनिट बेटा इधर आ एक मिनट इधर एक मिनट
ബ്രൈറ്റ് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ നീ ചെല്ലടാ ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ്സിലല്ലേ.
അതുണ്ടാക്കണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് മറ്റുണ്ടാക്കണോ മുട്ടക്കറി? എല്ലാവർക്കും തൊട്ടോട്ടെ
ക്ലാസ്
Sir, Jayaprakash sir is here.
എന്താ ചെയ്തു?
Jayaprakash sir on.
വന്നില്ലേ? Yeah.
Yes, joining.
Yes, yes. Father. Father.
ക്ലാസ്സിലായിരുന്നു അതുകൊണ്ടൊക്കെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ഇതായിരുന്നു.
Sure. Sedu, shall we begin? Acho. Semitecho.
ഓടില്ലേ?
Adule. Adul. Sedu, ഇവര് രണ്ടുപേര് ആൻസർ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ലോ Sedu.
One second, sir.
Yes, sir. Joby
Yes,
എത്തിയോ? Sir.
എന്തോ? ആരാ?
ജോബി.
ആ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തു എന്നാ സേതു പറഞ്ഞേ. ജോബി സാർ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തില്ലേ സേതു?
Yes, first one other.
ജോൺസൺ അച്ചോ?
അച്ഛൻ കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല തോന്നുന്നു ചേച്ചി.
നമ്മള് സമയം വേസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണോ വെച്ചാ നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങിക്കൂടെ?
ജയപ്രകാശ് സാറ് കയറുന്നു എന്ന് എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു.
ഇല്ല, കേറിയെന്നാണ് സേതു പറഞ്ഞത്.
ഓക്കെ then we'll start.
സേതു
ഒന്ന് സാറ് കൺഫേം ആയിക്കോ ഒന്ന് വിളിച്ചിട്ട്.
അല്ല, അഡ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോ അറിയില്ലേ?
സാറ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ജെ പി സാർ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
ജെ പി സാർ ലൈനിലുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ എന്നാ ഓക്കെ. കേൾക്കാം ജെ പി സാറേ. വെൽക്കം. താങ്ക് യു. കേൾക്കാം സാറേ, കേൾക്കാം. You are audible.
Welcome.
No issues. No issues.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
ഇത് ലിങ്ക് ആയിട്ട് ഇത് ലിങ്ക് എടുക്കുമോ? ലിങ്ക് എടുക്കണേ.
Sarne, you want to present?
അല്ല ഇത് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴേ ലിങ്ക് എനിക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ തരണേ.
That we will do, sir. No problem. We will make you a co-host. Okay. So we will begin. So here is Dr. Shashi Kumar C, Faculty Coordinator of Avancer 2020 series. So welcome you all to the Department of St. Joseph's College. Department of Social Work, St. Joseph's College, Pilatara. This time, the Avancer series, we used to conduct Avancer in physical mode. This time, due to the special conditions, the special situation, we have decided to have it in online mode. So this is a 3 days program. Today, day after tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. So the entire topic will be covered in 3 sub-themes. We request all of you to participate for the entire course of this webinar series. Let me invite Ashwati, today's MC, to begin the session. Ashwati, please.
Thank you, sir. Keep calm and carry on. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. A very warm good evening to one and all to the Avancer Webinar Series 2020 conducted by the Social Work Department of St. Joseph's College, Pilatara, Kannur on a contemporary relevant topic, strengthening psychosocial support systems to combat the mental health issues due to COVID-19 pandemic. We'll be discussing various aspects of the topic in 3 sub-themes starting from today. Today's session is on the sub-theme Building Alternative Psychosocial Support System for Children at the time of COVID-19, which is going to be dealt by Dr. Jayaprakash R, Child Psychiatrist and Unit Head, Sri Avittam Thirunar Hospital, Trivandrum. Dr. Anita A, Assistant Professor, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, is the moderator. Mr. Joby AP, District Childline Coordinator, Trivandrum, will share his experience. In a short while, we'll start our session. Before that, let me share some points for your kind consideration for the smooth conduct of the webinar. The participants, except the presenter and the moderator, are requested to mute their audio and keep the video off mode during the session. The last 15 minutes of the session would be exclusively for the question and answer session. Participants can ask their questions either by unmuting yourself or posting it in the chat box. Towards the end of the session, the participants would be provided with a feedback form which is to be filled in and submitted. E-certificates will be provided to all the participants who have submitted the feedback form for all the 3 days of the webinar. Let's begin the session. I invite Mrs. Setu Pushpajan, Student Coordinator of Avancer 2020 Webinar Series, for the welcome speech. Over to Setu.
Thank you. A very good evening to everyone present here with warm greetings. It is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome on behalf of Department of Social Work, St. Joseph College, Pilatara, to the Avancer Webinar Series 220, which is begin conducted on main theme, strengthening the psychosocial support system to combat the mental health issue due to COVID-19 pandemic. This is the first day of our webinar series, and today's sub-theme is building alternative psychosocial support system for children at the time of COVID-19. We have with us today Dr. Jayaprakash R, a renowned child psychiatrist. Dr. Jayaprakash is additional professor and head of behavioral pediatrics unit of SAT Hospital, Government Medical College, Trivandrum. He also served at various positions in various government hospitals in the state. He has his PhD in child psychiatry in conduct disorder. He secured foreign research fellowship in child psychiatry in 2015 of UNSW Liverpool Hospital, Australia, and has presented many research papers in national and international seminars and conferences. His major area of interest are child and adolescent psychiatry, autism, adolescent mental health and ADHD. He has written book on child adolescent mental health diseases, social health and smart parenting. Dr. Jayaprakash is in expert group for preparing training modules and syllabus for the ICDS program and school counseling program of Government of Kerala. He is also extension faculty of Institute of Management in Government at Trivandrum and Kerala Institute of Local Administration, Thrissur. I welcome you, sir. And I welcome Dr. Anita A., moderator of the day. She is assistant professor and teacher in charge, Department of Social Work, Sri Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Regional Center, Payyanur. She has rich experience in academics as a teacher, researcher, and member of Board of Studies in Social Work of Kannur University and presented papers on various social work related topics at national and international level. She has 3-year experience in associating with many mental health projects and is specialized in family and child welfare. She has PhD on topic impact of domestic violence in adolescents from Mahatma Gandhi University. I welcome you, ma'am. And I welcome Mr. Jyoti AP, who is here to share his experience on various psychosocial issues faced by children during COVID-19 pandemic. He is the District Child Coordinator, Thiruvananthapuram. He is also an invited resource person for various training programs in the area of child mental health. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome our beloved Vice Principal of the college and Head of the Department of Social Work to this session. We are happy that Father is always guiding and motivating us in undertaking innovative academic improvement programs. I welcome you, dear Father.
Thank you.
I also welcome all faculties of the Department of Social Work of St. Joseph College, Pilatara. It is because of the continued support, guidance, and motivation by faculty members we could organize this webinar. I welcome you all. And I welcome all other participants from different streams of academics, research, extension work, practitioners, and students from various college and my dear fellow students to this session. Welcome you all. And I am confident that today's session would be beneficial to all of us in addressing psychosocial issues of children due to COVID-19 pandemic. Have a good time. Thank you for all joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I heartily invite Father Johnson Simeti, Vice Principal of our college and HOD of Social Work Department for the introductory speech. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Respected moderator, resource persons, faculties, students, and all other participants. A very pleasant good evening to all of you. Actually, it's a moment of pride to address you all on the platform of Avancer Webinar series. Because Avancer has been a legacy of Department of Social Work, St. Joseph's College, Pilatra. St. Joseph's College, Pilatra, affiliated to Kannur University, is a higher education institute rising into prominence with its outstanding curricular, co-curricular, and social extension activities in North Malabar region of Kerala state. Department of Social Work has been a springboard of innovative programs and extensions right from the inception of the college. It has been contributing many social activities, innovations, interactions in the academia too. The legacy of Avancer would really picture the contributions of St. Joseph's College, intervening, disseminating in the social realities, interacting with the social realities in and around us. Today, we have been into a new webinar series, especially in a different context altogether. We have taken a topic that is very much relevant: strengthening psychosocial support system to combat mental health issues due to COVID-19 pandemic. We came to the topic, we have been reading on the newspapers and coming to the knowledge that number of suicides taking place due to COVID-19. And we have been discussing, actually, as a social workers, we want to respond to this issue. And we had a number of discussions with resource persons and academicians and activists. They have clearly directed us that the psychosocial support system, the breaking of the psychosocial support system is the cause of these issues. As a social workers, actually, we need to intervene into this issue. That is how, after a lot of discussions, we have come to the point: strengthening psychosocial support system to combat mental health issues due to COVID-19. Actually, all of you, there was a very wide acceptance from the participants, especially this invitation is received by the participants. And we are very happy that all of you have come over here to join, to discuss, and to understand. Maybe next level, going for a praxis to action to this very important topic. So, not taking much time, I really appreciate your interest in the topic. Actually, I invite all the resource persons over here. They are really gem of time and experts in the real topic. So a word of welcome from my side, as well as a word of welcome to all of you, all the participants who have received, accepted our invitation to this webinar series. So I extend a hearty welcome to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Let us move on to the presentation. May I invite our presenter of the session, Dr. Jayaprakash R., Child Psychiatrist and Unit Head, Sri Avittam Tirunal Unit, Trivandrum Hospital. We are really fortunate to have Dr. Jayaprakash R. as the presenter for today's theme. Today's webinar will be moderated by Dr. Anita A., who is currently working as Assistant Professor and Teacher in Charge in the Department of Social Work, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Regional Center, Payyanur. I invite Dr. Anita A. to take over the session, and we all are eagerly waiting for your words, ma'am. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Arati. A very good evening to all of you. I would like to thank St. Joseph's College, the Department of Social Work, especially the Vice Principal, Father Johnson Simeti, Shashi Sir, and all the others, the coordinators who have been keeping in touch with me all along. And Jayaprakash Sir, I'll be moderating the session. I haven't personally known you, but I'm very happy, glad to be part of moderator of the session with you. So I think I'll be giving a brief introduction into why do we need to intervene with the children? Why children? So since Jayaprakash sir will be talking about all the building alternating psychosocial support system for children, we will look at why it's important to address the children as such. As we all know, this pandemic is completely new situation in the history of mankind. We had never across. We have seen various disasters in our we have confronted, the human race has been confronting different situations, but never this pandemic at such a large scale. And all the reports and researchers clearly indicate both positive as well as negative impact consequences of this pandemic on the human beings, especially we can see that with regard, if you look at a few of the positive case sense, in the positive sense, we can see that the families are together, the parents and children are together in the family for a quite long time. They having good quality time with each other. They get to see all like their parents, especially the working parents. They get time with their children, and I think we have all slowed down a bit. The whole of us has slowed down. We have all been running for various reasons to attain so many things, but we have all taken a little time to take a breaths. So and we have, I think there are a lot of positive messages coming down with regard to like a lot of people seen in getting into their passions, forgotten hobbies like reading, gardening, and especially we see a very decrease in the marriage expenses. Lots of marriages happening, but the expenses has gone. And environment is the most rejoicing, I think, if you can see. There is less of air and noise pollution and no crowded places. So like I think the environment would be very happy in this situation. But this is only one aspect of it. If we look into the another aspect, we have seen that we are all learning, right? Yesterday we have seen that if we look, the Madhurami newspaper says that the schools in England and China have opened. The schools have reopened after the pandemic. It was China had closed down the schools in December, so they are in Wuhan. They have reopened the schools. In Britain, they have reopened the schools again with a warning from the WHO, like asking to take care of the situation. But then so it's like experimenting with the situation, what would be good for the present conditions. So something that we call a new normalcy, with wearing a lot of masks, frequent use of sanitizers, hand washes and all, which we are never used to in the earlier context. A lot of social distancing, increasing from 1 meter to 2 meters. And I know and our government has been adopting various precautionary measures, of which school closures has been one of the important thing. We know like it's going to be 6 months since our schools have remained closed. When it comes to 5th of September, it will be almost 6 months. And this has had a very great impact on the children, especially school going children, because the children in India, the 2011 census says that it's about 39% of the population as children. That is, every fifth child in the world is an Indian. So like, and it has the most damaging, the UNICEF also reports that it has a most damaging effect on the children with the schools remaining closed, because we see that the children are at home, they are cut off from all kind of social relationships. No school, no friends, no teachers, no relatives, no neighborhood gatherings. The warmth of our government has taken initiative to start off their classes as on online platforms, the warmth of human interactions has reduced to a great extent. There is a lot of mental exhaustion and depression. We, as Father Simeti has rightly pointed out, we have seen a lot of suicides among children, which is very prompt. Why they have correctly titled this Avancer series on the psychosocial aspects of the children on various populations. So I think, in one way, when parents are home, like the children are having advantage. But on the next aspect, if you see that there's a lot of population, vulnerable and disadvantaged population, who are affected to a great extent. And this availability of parents at home has also increased the domestic violence at home. And the children are being at home whole time, are witnessing these domestic violences. The children has to have the access to smartphones and TVs, so they are always online, so they're expected to be online. So this has also reports show that this has also increased. I think the day before, Hindu reports in Kochi shows that there is an increase in abuses, emotion. The childline is receiving more calls. I think we have a resource person from childline who will be speaking on that issue. So there is an emotional abuse quarter of children. That's how the report says. And there is like even the worldwide in Canada, it says deeply disturbing statistics show COVID-19 is hurting kids' safety. So they are emotionally, physically abused, and even sexually and online abusers in the current context. So a lot of things to be addressed with regard to the children. I think our resource person will be rightly taking in considering all these points. Sir will be making the presentation. Dr. Jayaprakash, I invite you cordially to the platform to present your topic. Thank you.
Can we remove this notification? This actually it is disturbing, this notification. Adira, is there any mechanism to remove this notification?
Yes, sir. Just a second.
It's very disturbing.
Can take up.
It's over.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the outset, I would like to thank Father Johnson, Dr. Shashi, and other people, colleagues of the St. Joseph College for conducting a seminar like this on the topic of psychological impact of children and the building up an alternative psychosocial support system. So I will share the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is come, sir. Your screen is
Is
visible.
it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
your
Okay, sir.
screen is visible.
Seen.
Okay, you can
It's
continue.
seen.
Okay. So this is the topic is psychological impact of COVID-19 on children and building up of an alternative support system. Already the system has developed a support system, that is a school system, that is the government by various agencies. This is about various aspects of the psychological impact and building up an alternative support system. How can we build up an alternative support system? So we will discuss the topics in a cordial manner, like introduction, situation, analysis of the situation, psychological impact on children and adolescents, and alternative support system. Okay. So we know that COVID pandemic is affecting all the, it is globally affecting all the people are involved, various sectors of life, people are involved. Our government is trying at their best to combat the control the infection. In this pandemic situation, the children are minimally susceptible. The children, suppose you look at the data, the children are minimally affected compared to the adult population. But the psychosocial impact is more on children and adolescents. That is, so physical infection is, even though it is less, the psychosocial impact on children and adolescents are more compared to the adult population. That is a tricky situation. Situation analysis, there is a unique situation. Unique situations are the pandemic universal impact, lockdown, it is a unique situation, and the schools remains closed. These are three unique situations which you have to analyze. Then special situations like overburdened online education. So we might have heard of that online education had created some psychological impact on children. It is newspaper reports are there, articles are there on the overburden of the online education that we will discuss. Then overexposure to online media. Usually we educate the parents that the online exposure should be minimum to the children and adolescents. But now it is a situation we have to expose the children to online media. That is again a difficult situation. Then children with the special needs. What are the problems faced by the children with the special needs? Then typical problems in the dysfunctional family that we will discuss. What is dysfunctional family? And the child suicide is increasing. Child and adolescent suicide is increasing in the COVID pandemic, COVID context that we will discuss. So these are the issues. So pandemic universal impact, fear of illness is there, fear of death is there across global situation. No treatment, no vaccination for the infection. So all this creates a totally stressful situation in the society across the globe. And continuing media reports of infection and death. So മരണങ്ങൾ കൂടുതലായിട്ട് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. We are not able to control the death, and especially the old age population and the middle age population and the children, people with lifestyle disease, they are more exposed to more morbid complications. All these situations will reflect on children. Even though the child is not directly affected, the situation affects the influence the child. So parents എല്ലാവരും വിഷമിച്ചിരിക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് കുട്ടികളും വിഷമിച്ചായിരിക്കും ഇരിക്കുന്നത്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ all these media report ഇതെല്ലാം കുട്ടികളെയും ബാധിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. So actually the impact on children is not direct. It is indirect impact due to this COVID pandemic psychosocial system, difference in the psychosocial system that will affect the children, and it will reflect on children. Another situation is the occupational crisis. Due to the lockdown, occupational crisis, financial crisis, and quarantine, it is a typical unique situation in the present context. And all these produces psychological impact, വളരെ ഒരു stressful situation in the family. ഒരു മാനസിക പിരിമുറുക്കം നിറഞ്ഞ കുടുംബാന്തരീക്ഷമായിരിക്കും. So all these it will reflect on children. So even though we are not discussing anything with the children, but they will imbibe. They will understand what is the type of situation in the family. Parents are really in a difficult situation due to financial crisis and loss of job, occupational crisis, and quarantine and other issues. And the poor psychological support system, the society, totally it is in a stressful situation. The psychosocial support system to the children in the family will be affected naturally. And the children are confined to family because of the school closure, home confinement. വെളിയിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. No outdoor game, outdoor activity, no school going. So the totally confined to the family, confined into the inside the house. That is a very difficult situation for the children. Schools remain closed. No peer group interaction. No teacher-student interaction. No social learning. So adolescents are more affected in this particular situation because adolescents are more interacting with the peer group. So the school is closed. Naturally, the interaction between the among the adolescents are very limited. Only phone communication, or some limited people can do the video call. Other majority of the people are not affluent to these technologies, and it is not affordable also. So no outdoor game. വെളിയിൽ പോയി കളിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. Physical activity will be limited. Naturally, they will come with lifestyle problems or obesity and other physical problems in the future due to this no outdoor game activity. And poor access to online classes. ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ മീഡിയ റിപ്പോർട്ടെല്ലാം വന്നതാണ്. ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ കുറേ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല ഡ്യൂ ടു ദി affordable situations. society had supported the large section of society, large section of people. പക്ഷെ എത്രയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് ഫുള്ള് കവർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ടില്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതെല്ലാം സ്കൂൾസ് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തതിന്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിലുള്ള ഇഷ്യൂസ് ആണ്. Then what are the special situations in the COVID pandemic? Special situations overburdened online education, hours of continued exposure to online education. So in high school, among high school and higher secondary students, majority of the CBSE, ICSE schools and the other Kendriya Vidyalayas, the usual pattern is about 3 to 4 hours. 3 to 4 hours of continued online education. ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഇന്റർവെൽ ഇല്ലാതെയാണ് അവർ ഈ continued online education കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. And apart from this routine online education, the majority of the students among the from high school and higher secondary are attending the tuition also. So we had conducted a study on the psychological impact of online education. Majority of the parents and their kids have complained about this continued hours of online education, and they were not cope up with the content or burdened.
Jayaprakash sir.
But I was unable to hear him. I was just thinking about it.
It's me too. I think something happened to his audio.
Jayaprakash sir, hello. Sir, we are not able to hear you.
Jayaprakash sir.
Hello, Jayaprakash sir.
Audio is not clear, sir.
Hello, Jayaprakash sir. Hello, sir.
Maybe some connectivity on the screen is coming.
Yes, sir is presenting. I think the topics are coming down on the screen.
Yeah.
സാറേ ശബ്ദം കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലല്ലോ.
ഹലോ ഫാദർ.
യെസ്.
ജയപ്രകാശ് സാറിന് നെറ്റിന് എന്തോ ഇതാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. സാറിന് ലെഫ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒന്നുകൂടെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Fine. All please remain. The presenter has some network issue. he will join again. Yeah. Now he is trying. Yeah. Anita madam?
Sir?
Yeah, now it is coming.
Okay.
Again it has gone. Yeah. Now sir has come. Yeah. Yeah, professor.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Jayaprakash sir, can you speak?
Yeah, professor.
Jayaprakash sir, can you speak?
Yeah, professor.
Actually, we can see you.
Yeah.
But audio is not coming.
Thank you. Sir, can you speak? Jayaprakash sir.
We can see your screen, Jayaprakash sir.
Sir. Yeah, professor.
Yeah. YouTube link.
Sir is. Yeah, he is trying to call. Anita madam, he may be.
In the meanwhile, I think I will add a few points, right?
Yes. That is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So till sir comes, I think I'll add on some of my viewpoints regarding the topic. Okay. Things are coming up in the screen. Okay, so I think sir has been trying to talk about different impact on how, though as sir has rightly pointed out, the children are having an indirect impact, though not a direct impact, they are having an indirect impact, having to remain in closed confined spaces like homes, with parents the whole time in front of the noses of the parents, as one of the reports has clearly put out. They're like remaining in front of the parents for a whole lot of time. We know how much how limitation it does, when you had to remain in front of your parents for the 24 plus hours and for a whole lot of months. So I think this has put a lot of stress on children as well as the parents. Sir is okay. Jay Prakash sir is here. I think he will take on from now.
Prasha, your screen share is okay. We can see you.
Sir, can you speak?
He's speaking, but he himself has kept mute.
Sir, can you check if you are muted, sir?
No, he has not.
Okay. He's trying to say something.
Yes, but nothing is coming out.
Yes.
Someone has a suggestion that it would be better if he removes his mic. I think his
ജയപ്രകാശ് സാർ സാറിന്റെ മൈക്ക് ഹെഡ്ഫോൺ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് അത് മാറ്റിയിട്ടൊന്ന് നോക്കിയാൽ മതി. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സാറിന് കംഫർട്ടബിൾ ഓഡിയോ ക്ലിയർ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് വീഡിയോ ഓഫ് ആക്കിയിട്ട് നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുറച്ചും കൂടി ക്ലിയർ ആയിരിക്കും.
I think sir was trying to speak on. Yes.
His voice is not coming.
Yeah. He was trying to speak on the negative impacts of online education on children, where there is no direct face-to-face relationship between the teacher and the students. And we all know that there is a lot of other disadvantaged population that sir is trying to speak, I think, about the lot of students who are receiving therapy. Sir, can you speak now, Jayprakash sir?
Sir, you are not audible. That is the problem. We can see you.
I think we are all, as a parent, even myself, I had 2 children. So I think online, I know how stressful it is with regard to the online education. So it has myself being as a working mother and as a teacher, like it's like double responsibility. You are even if it's not even double, it's actually become a triple responsibility. You had to be a mother 24 hours. You had to be taking care of your household activities. You had taking care of your you're expected to be children for the children that I take classes, my own students, as well as teacher to my children. Who the children the teacher of my children sends all the notes to my through the WhatsApp group after the online sessions on the TV, and then like I am supposed to be with the children and take care that see to it that they prepare all the notes that are given by the teacher, all the homeworks that are assigned by the teachers. And this is like, it becomes a very stress. Actually, it creates a stressful situation for me itself. So I think all the parents might be experience these kind of and these situations at their homes. The how and recently like I had to ask my husband to take it up like so that I at least one responsibility is minimized from my part. So like I have assigned he's now sharing the responsibility of taking up the WhatsApp group that is a communication with the teachers now. So and he sends, though he's not personally here, he sends messages through another phone so that children take care of their notes. So I think there's a lot of issues, stresses among the with the parents. So and recently my students who has been working among the different marginalized group, they have been also communicating about among the tribal group, among the plantation workers. So they have also been speaking about how the online education, the students and the families in the plantation workers in the areas or in the tribal communities are not able to access the education because of the maybe they don't have a clear cut power supply at times, or they don't have the internet facilities. I know how difficult it is for me to access internet. So for a large group of people, the access to internet connectivity itself is a major drawback in case of online sessions. So I think this has taken up a lot of strain on the parents as well as the students, and this has been also a cause of suicides among children. Like we have seen a few cases in newspaper reports where the children had committed suicide because they didn't
ഞാനിപ്പം സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് കേൾക്കാമോ? ഇപ്പൊ
ഇപ്പൊ
സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്
കേൾക്കാം സർ, ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാം.
ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാം സാർ, കേൾക്കാം സാർ.
കേൾക്കാമോ?
യെസ് സർ, ജയപ്രകാശ് സർ, കേൾക്കാം.
Okay.
I was just trying to fill in, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. But can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. But your screen, trying to share your screen, right, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's clear.
just
It's
come.
clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we will start from the online overexposure to online media. It is a difficult situation. Naturally, our children and adolescents are now exposed to online education, due to online education, on overexposure to online media. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മുമ്പ് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നത് ഇതെല്ലാം നമ്മൾ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യണമെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. Now we have to advise the parents to buy a tab or a mobile for the children to attend the online classes. Now they are overexposure to online media and child sexual abuse and child abuse also report cases are there due to this over online exposure. Then children with the special needs, autism, cerebral palsy, ADHD, and all other developmental disorders. They are undergoing, actually they were undergoing therapy, various therapies like speech therapy, behavior therapy, occupational therapy, everything. In our unit also, all these therapies are going on. But due to this COVID pandemic situation, now the children are not coming because of the fear of the, suppose they come to the hospital, will they get infection from the other children? So the children and parents are not coming in the hospital. Now there is the therapy is discontinued. Actually, practically the therapy is discontinued. Now we started online therapy, but online therapy cannot be equated with the direct therapy. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you. You're audible, sir.
Now this particular difficult situation, therapy is discontinued and the direct therapy is discontinued. Now we are able to provide only the online therapy and the poor online class. Actually, the online classes are designed for the students, so-called normal students. But for children with the special needs, a lot of limitations are there in the online education system. Now, dysfunctional families with alcoholism, quarrelsome events, domestic violence, all these are dysfunctional family. Dysfunctional family, the psychological, emotional environment will be disrupted. So, poor mutual support system, പരസ്പര സഹകരണം support ഒക്കെ കുറവായിരിക്കും. Poor mutual support system, emotional warmth will be affected. Naturally, the poor psychosocial support system, support to the children in these particular families, it is already reported. So in the difficult situation, if it is a dysfunctional family, also in a quarantine situation or lockdown situation, even if it is a dysfunctional category, also the problems will be doubled. So that is a difficult situation in the COVID pandemic. Now, child suicide. Already paper media reports are there about the increasing incidence of child suicide among children and adolescents. Hello.
Sir, please
We can hear you.
Continue.
Yes, sir.
Please continue, sir.
ഇതിന്റെ വേറെ ആരുടെയൊക്കെയോ പിന്നെ ഓഡിയോ ഓഫ് അല്ല.
Some disturbance.
Yeah.
You are audible, sir. Please.
Okay. So poor psychosocial support system, due to this poor psychosocial support system, the emotional support system in the family and other stressful situation in the society, the suicide is increasing among children and adolescents. Now, what are the psychological impact on the children due to this particular unique situation? We have analyzed the unique situation as well as the special situations. What are the psychological? Now we will examine the psychological impact on children and adolescents. Naturally, all children are not affected. Even though the situation is universal, it is across the globe and across the families, but not all children will be affected. It is a temperamental issue. Continued media report of the infection, continuing increasing infection and increasing death rate. And all these psychological impact, we should describe in a developmental perspective manner. All children across the children of up to 18 years, not all will be equally affected. Different age groups are affected in a different manner. So we will discuss it in a developmental perspective manner. Now about the smaller children, especially 0 to 6 years. They will have bottled emotions. That is, bottled emotions means that due to this, naturally, I already mentioned about the stressful situation in the family. Naturally, the parents will be stressed and they will not be interacting with their children. So the children will have this, they will read the emotions in their parents, but they will not be able to express it. So naturally, this bottled emotion will produce regression in the children, over clinging behavior in the children. Then disturbed sleep, ഉറക്ക ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ഉണരുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള disturbed sleep ആയിരിക്കും. Irritability and anger will be more unknown due to unknown reasons. The child will be seen irritable and hyperactive. They may develop nightmare and intrusive fearful thoughts during sleep. So these are about the smaller children. Now older children. Older children means 6 to 12 years of age. So these children, they will have some understanding about the situation. Some problem is there in the society, in the family, and in the across the world. They are attending the media reports. They are able to understand. So they will have pervasive sadness, fear of loss of both the parents. We have seen a lot of children with brought with the history of recently also 1 week back also one child was a 6-year-old girl was brought with the history of repeated obsessive thoughts that the parents may die due to infection. And that was the case. So we have provided direct as well as online therapy to the parents and the children and the child. Then afraid of world ending, sleeplessness, aches and pains. Even though they are able to express their emotions in a easy manner, but they will have aches and pains. The somatic symptoms will be more. Adolescence, the adolescent development, we know the adolescence impulsiveness is there. Adolescents are actually, they are the period of the transitional phase. Their brain is not developed completely, so they are having over impulsive behavior. So that is this adolescent difficult situation will be more prominent in this particular situation. Feeling isolated, losing contact with the peers, fear of loss of stability and security from parents, concern about education and future. Naturally, they will be concerned about the future. So, and they will be in the high school or higher secondary. Some will be attending, preparing for the competitive examinations. So naturally, the exam is getting postponed every time. So that is actually an uncertainty in the education sector, especially it will directly affect adolescents, high school and higher secondary students. And chronic fatigue will be there, and adolescent suicide. So actually the suicide, even though the suicide is, we report suicide among children and adolescents, actually it is more of adolescent suicide. Adolescent means 12 to 18 years. So older children or adolescents are committing suicide compared to the smaller children below 12 years. So the adolescent suicide is increasing. Majority, the government have formulated a committee to study the causes of adolescent child suicide, and what are the corrective measures that we can decide. So the committee is undergoing the examination of the statistics. Child abuse. Child abuse, increased domestic violence and child abuse in the particularly all are in the family. Naturally, the child family interaction will be more. It will result in over child abuse as well as domestic violence, especially between the parents. The sexual abuse also, naturally the environment situations change. Those sexual abuse, the chance of increased sexual abuse is also there. Now the psychiatric disorders, anxiety spectrum disorder. All these are the psychological problems that I have mentioned. Now there are certain psychiatric disorders which can precipitate in the COVID pandemic situation among the adult as well as the children. Anxiety spectrum disorder, nightmare or obsessive compulsive disorder. Then depression. Depression is the classical one. Depression can be precipitated. The temperamentally, suppose a child in the dysfunctional family can precipitate with depression, in particularly the stressful, psychosocial situation. So depression, then precipitation of the existing psychiatric illness. If, suppose the child is having some illness, psychiatric illness, it will be precipitated, or due to the stressful situation in the family, in the society, as well as some discontinuation of the medication can occur. So all this will cause the precipitation of the existing psychiatric illness. Naturally, the suicidal rate, I already mentioned about the increased incidence of suicidal rate among children and adolescents. Now, what are the last point? What are the intervention strategies? So again, we will go in a developmental perspective manner. Some specific measures, especially in the family, by the parents. That is a specific measures. Then school level intervention, that is already going on. And finally, alternative social support system. How to build up alternative social support system. Specific measures, again, developmental perspective manner, smaller children. So how to active how to give the psychosocial support system to the children by the parents. That is a specific measure. So emotional warmth, you have to advise the parents to give emotional warmth, modeling calm. Tension account tension കുട്ടിയുടെ മുമ്പിൽ പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കാത്ത രീതിയിൽ we have to model. So that naturally that will have some positive effect on the child. So we have to quality time spending. We have to spend some fixed time daily with the child by doing some interesting activities that is to the child. Some coloring activities, singing song, or some dancing, some interesting activity to the child. So we should design our parental education. We have to include quality time spending in the parent. Focus on indoor games. Their physical activities are limited. They are confined to a home environment. No outdoor game, it is limited. So we have to focus on indoor game. Skipping can be advised. Skipping can be advised for boys and girls. Indoor game is a good indoor game, physical activity. Speak about home life and children. That is a family situation. We should discuss the smaller children about the family situation, the parents, that father, mother, happier things about these things, rather than discussing the impact of this COVID pandemic in the media, reporting in the media, increase the infection, increase the incidence of infection, increasing incidence of death. All these things we should avoid. Try to discuss these things in the family situation. And a limited media exposure. So media exposure should be minimized to these children, smaller children. Now older children more there will be aware of the situation. And the problem is there in the society, increased infection, death rate. We are also at the risk of getting infection. Parents may get infection. So I also get infection. So they are now we can do some media exposure. The smaller children, limited exposure. Now it is a medium exposure to media we can advise. And then we should discuss the issues with the child, psychological ventilation. The child will discuss the child about their problems. So we can discuss the issues rather than limiting the discussion about the COVID pandemic. And we should advise the parents should advise to do quality time spending, as I mentioned earlier, some coloring activities, singing, song, acting, drawing, etc. Focus on indoor games. Already I mentioned about the importance of indoor games. The outdoor game is limited, so indoor game is already skipping can be done, or some other indoor game, physical activity, and focus on extracurricular activity, extracurricular skills the child is having extra. So we should encourage the child to perform the extracurricular skills. And maybe some children, they will be interested in cooking, so we can participate. The child can be participated in the home-based activities. Now, adolescents. Adolescents discuss on things we should discuss. Actually, the adolescents will be most commonly affected like their parents. So we can discuss the things will change. The future will be good. Future plans we should discuss with them. Encourage extracurricular skills and demonstrations, quality time spending, and focus on indoor game, very important. They may develop obesity. The boys and girls may develop obesity in adolescence. So we encourage the indoor games, physical activities, and regulated online activity. Media exposure, they will be exposed to media directly, naturally, but regulated online activity should be regulated and monitored. ഒരു ഫിക്സഡ് ടൈം കൊടുത്തിട്ട് അത് നമ്മൾ ഓപ്പൺ സ്പേസിലുള്ള ഓൺലൈൻ ആക്ടിവിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യുക. Now about school level intervention, that is already going on. School level intervention is going on. We have to form groups of teacher, parent, and student. Teacher, parent, student, and we should include the school counselor also into the group. So sometimes we can form WhatsApp group, class-based WhatsApp groups. Teacher can be included, parents can be included, and the school counselor. So they will do the identify the family address. If a group ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ നോക്കിയിട്ട് families address. I already mentioned about the risk families, especially the dysfunctional families. And the tele-counseling, the required in indicated situations, the family as well as the child should be given tele-counseling regarding the issues, and especially the suicide prevention, and regulate the online education. School online education should be regulated. The maximum online exposure should be limited to 2 hours per day, and each session should be a maximum of 30 minutes each, and it should be followed by some interval. So that is we have to regulate the online activities. Now, finally, we have to provide the alternative, how to build up alternative support psychosocial support system. So society, how can we act എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഞാൻ ഇനി പറയുന്നത്. In the society, community level. Parent, voluntary, counselor, student groups, suppose in the ward or area or unit space, ward ആയിരിക്കും നല്ലത്. വാർഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഏരിയ എടുത്തിട്ട് voluntary counselors, we can enlist the type, the number of voluntary counselors, number of people who can act as voluntary counselors. So each counselor can be designated to provide service to particular area. So in that area, a lot of parents are there and children are there. So they can form a group, WhatsApp group ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. Area ward level WhatsApp group ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. And the counselor can identify the at-risk families. At-risk family temperamental issues will be there. Naturally exposed, the at-risk families are more exposed to stressful situations. And we, as mentioned earlier, they can provide tele-counseling at this community level. Through this WhatsApp group as well as tele-counseling, WhatsApp counseling and tele-counseling, we can provide counseling to the parents as well as the children. About the suicide prevention, it is very important. It's very important. Suicide prevention strategies we have to discuss with the children and the parents. One important thing in the suicide prevention strategy is to build up emotional mutual support system in the family. That is gravely lacking in particular situation where the child commits suicide, adolescent commits suicide. So suppose we do the psychological autopsy of a family, when adolescent committed suicide, naturally the emotional support system, mutual support system in the family will be disrupted. So we have to rebuild the emotional mutual support system in the family. So that is a important point in suicide prevention strategy. And disseminate the scientific knowledge regarding the COVID and how to control the infections, how to combat the situation. So scientific content, scientific dissemination of the knowledge should be, that is very important. That can be done through the WhatsApp group. Parental awareness regarding the quality time spending, the counselor can do this, counselor can do the quality, advise the parents to do quality time spending with their children, facilitate the importance of physical activity, emotional, to build up emotional warmth in the family, the mutual support system in the family, how to build up quality family life, how to control the anger, how to control the quarrelsome events, domestic violence and alcoholism. So we have to, the counselor will be able to they discuss with the parents about the quality, maintaining quality family life in the that is the importance of quality family life, in particularly in the COVID pandemic situation. So this is in short about psychological impact of COVID on children and adolescents and the building up an alternative psychosocial support system. We have discussed the situation analysis. We analyzed the situation. We discussed about the psychological impact of children and adolescents. And finally, we discussed about the specific measures, school level measures, and the building up alternative psychosocial support system. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jayaprakash sir. You had touched on almost all the aspects of the topic, from the indirect impact on children, our burden online education, then the psychological, psychiatric impacts, and coming on to the intervention that has to be in view of through a developmental perspective approach. You had touched upon all the age group of children and clearly mentioned what has to be done with each group of children. From the family level, at the parental level, at the family level, at the community level as well. So I think we'll go on to the sharing session from Childline representative who is here with us. So I would like to now invite Mr. Joby, District Child Coordinator. After that, I think we will go to the question answer session.
Good evening. Screen share on the close angle. Open ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുള്ളൂ.
Yes.
District Child Coordinator. After that, I think we will go to the question answer session.
Screen share close ആയില്ലേ?
Yes.
sir.
Close.
Hi, good evening to one and all. First of all, I would like to thank and congratulate Social Work Department of St. Joseph College, Vilatra, for arranging the webinar building alternative psychosocial support for children at time of COVID. I am Joby Kondu, District Coordinator of Childline Thiruvananthapuram. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yes, you are.
Audible.
As you may know, Childline is a 24-hour emergency helpline for children in distress under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Childline is present almost 511 districts in India, and it works in 1,036 units, 856 organizations. We have 128 railway child help desk. I share these statistics only because child line, like police and health department, is also not locked down during this COVID-19 situation. I would like to share my experience of child line team, and also during COVID-19, the case statistics of interventions that is done by child line in Kerala. The principles of JJ Act, like when we analyze the principle, we
Joby,
know.
just a second. I have a suggestion. Can you make it to the presentation mode? It's only.
Is it
Can
not
you make
seen?
it? It's seen, but it's in the small screen. Can you make it big?
Okay, wait.
Do the presentation mode.
Presentation mode. Take. You can take your.
Now, is it okay?
Yeah, it's clear. Yes.
When we analyze the principles of JJ Act, there are 16 basic principles. So family responsibility and institutionalization as a measure of last resort are the major concepts we have focused. But COVID-19 made it happen in Kerala. Because the institutionalization as a measure of last resort means നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ മാക്സിമം ഒരു കുട്ടികളുടെ വീട്ടിലായിരിക്കണം എന്നുള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണ് പ്രധാനമായിട്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഫാമിലി റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു കുട്ടിയുടെ ഉത്തരവാദിത്വം ഫാമിലിക്കാണ് എന്നുള്ളത്. We have seen many say that there are increased child abuse cases during COVID-19. Though they are saying that more children are abused during COVID-19, as far as the data is concerned, of that is in the cases intervened by the child line, it is not so true. Since we are not locked down during the pandemic, it is the right of the children, as per United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, is concerned to be helped and given more importance in emergency situations like disaster. So COVID-19 is also a disaster. So let's analyze the case interventions done by child line care. When I say that there is the situation means the case interventions that is done by child line is less when compared to the April 2019 to April 2019 to July 2019, and also April to July 2020. So the child sexual abuse cases from April to July 2019 were 462 cases, but during COVID-19 it is 220. The difference is 242. The child marriage interventions 86, and during COVID-19 situations, that is in 2020, it's 4 months, it's 38. Physical abuse cases 822 to 455. The difference is 367. Child begging cases were 31 in 2019 and it is 2 in 2020. Child trafficking 3, it is 0 in 2020. Child selling 3, it's 0 in 2020. And child labor, there were 50 cases and now it is 7 cases in 2020. We know that schools were closed in COVID-19 situation. So the dropout cases 82 were in 2019 and now it's 0. But please look at the emotional support. That is 1018 cases emotional support. That's different from emotional abuse cases that will come follow it. That 1018 cases were there, and in 2020 it is 24. The shelter cases, that is the children needed shelter in 2019 it was 404, and in 2020 it is 249. The missing cases were 154 in Kerala, and it is 16 during 2020. And restoration cases, restoration means if the child is restored to family, it is 35, and in 2020 it is 12. Drug abuse cases were 65 cases, only substance abuse cases were 65 in 2019 and 15 cases reported in 2020. We can see that almost 50% of decrease in protection from abuse cases. So that's why in my first slide, I said family responsibility and institutionalization as a measure of last resort is present. But the last three figures, that red colors you can see, the medical cases in 2019 were 46 and also in 2020 it is 46. Emotional abuse cases, 577 in 2019 and 584. You can see that other cases were decreased to 50%, and there is not much decrease in emotional abuse cases and neglect. Neglect means ഒരു കുട്ടിക്ക് ഭക്ഷണം വസ്ത്രം വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം പാർപ്പിടം ഇവ കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റാതിരുന്നതാണ് നമ്മൾ നെഗ്ലക്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So there were 3,933 cases reported in 2019 April to July, but in COVID-19 situation it is 2,269 cases reported in care. So there is a difference of 1,664 cases. So the protection from abuse cases have been decreased since the children are with their parents. So children are more safe with their parents. But emotional abuse cases are increased. You can say that I say this because other cases decreased 50% and the emotional abuse cases have not been decreased. So you can see, as you have seen, there is a dropout cases. There is no dropout cases reported, but as Jay Prakash correctly said, there is a poor online education material distribution among children. Thailand have distributed hundreds of television sets for the children. The tribal children were not accessed to the online education, and the tribal department have many tribal department heads have come into force and they have installed സാമൂഹ്യ പഠനമുറി, which അതായത് ഒരു സ്റ്റേജിൽ കുറെ കുട്ടികളെ ഒരുമിച്ച് കൊണ്ടുവരിക, ആ കുട്ടികളെ ഒരു 10-15 കുട്ടികൾ ഒരുമിച്ച് വരിക, സോഷ്യൽ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസിംഗ് ഒക്കെ ഉള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഒരുമിച്ച് വരിക, അവിടെ വെച്ച് കുട്ടികൾ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കും. കാരണം അവരുടെ വീടുകളിൽ ഇത് TV ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സൗകര്യമൊന്നുമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ സാമൂഹ്യ പഠനമുറി പോലെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ അവിടെ ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ. The online education needed for more help were needed for children. I myself have experienced one case, a physically challenged child who has not gone to school for last 9 years and now she is in 10th standard. She usually she has been helped by the friends and the teachers. They came to her and they taught. But during the COVID-19 situation, she was not able to study because nobody comes to her. But we intervened in the case and we have found a sponsor from Botswana, and she gave a laptop to the child and she is now studying using the laptop. So we have the major issue faced by the children. The quarantine facilities were not there for rescuing children. Now in Thiruvananthapuram, we have installed 2 children's homes, transformed to quarantine facility homes. And it is happening to other districts also. So I would like to say that there are decrease in protection from abuse cases and increase in emotional abuse cases. So the children are safe during a pandemic situation only from the protection from abuse cases, that is child marriage, child labor, child begging, etc. But they are more vulnerable when when we look at the protection from emotional abuse cases. These emotional abuse cases may transform to child marriages, child sexual abuses, protection from abuses. So the children are still vulnerable during COVID-19 situation. I know that there are, I have only little time, so I'm concluding here. I thank the organizers behind the advanced training. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Joby. That was real practical information from the child line, because I think all the newspapers had been taking reports from the child line, and bringing about the like even the recent report by Hindu on September 2nd also was speaking based on the child line data in Ernakulam. They were also talking about the emotional abuses on children.
Yes.
I just have a request to the participants: don't scratch on the screen, because it is appearing on the. It's not a good habit, I think, to do that. When someone is presenting, we should respect that. I hope participants do understand. Okay, I think we will go on to the question and answer session. So if any of the participants want to raise questions, they can unmute themselves and ask questions to Jaiprakash sir or Joby. Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. Just before that, we have an
Okay.
announcement. I request all the participants to turn on their video for a moment as we are taking photographs of the session.
Can you close the presentation, the sharing of the screen presentation?
Excuse me. Just I can't own the video. It's informed that video is paused by host.
Can you stop the slide sharing?
I can't own this. Yeah, I can't own the video. The host is locked.
Host locked.
Yes.
Please take care.
Okay, perfect. It's okay.
So it is okay, madam? Okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. While taking the photograph, I think we can continue the proceedings.
Yeah, that would be better. If
Yeah, that would be better.
Arati can allow me, can we go on to the
Sure, ma'am.
question and answer?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Arati. I think we'll go on to
Yeah.
the question and answer session. If anyone wants to have questions, you can
Yes,
either.
ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Revati.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I'm not from the psychological background. I am from economics background.
Okay.
So, ma'am, my doubt is that because of this child abuse, it surely affect the mental health of the children, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. So, ma'am, how is it possible to quantifiable measure this mental health, or what are the variables we can use to measure this mental health?
Okay. Jaiprakash sir.
So mental health developmentally, we define the mental health for children in a developmental perspective manner. Suppose the child is doing well with all the developmental domains and doing the required academic activities, as well as the other social relationship, peer group relationship, that we can assume that particular child is having the appropriate mental health. So that is there is no universal definition for mental health of children. Is when the WHO is not giving the specific definition for mental health among children. It is described in a developmentally perspective manner. Suppose a child is doing the developmentally appropriate behavior and behaving appropriate, developmentally appropriate manner, that we will assume that child is having the normal mental health. Indicators can be different indicators. Child is doing academic level, child is doing behavioral, peer, good relation, peer group, then good relation. Am I
Sir,
audible?
yeah, sir. That means you just mentioned some variable. That means using that variable, we can measure it is quantifiable manner.
But it is not, actually, it is not a quantifiable manner. It is actually, we actually define the mental health in, suppose a child is doing very well with these different indicators. Actually, we are not quantifying. We are actually, it is a qualitative phenomena. It is not a quantitative phenomena.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, there's an information for the participants. The feedback form has been posted in the chat box. I request all the participants to kindly fill and submit the feedback form without fail. Thank you.
Any more questions?
ഒരു ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് ഫോം ഫില്ല് ചെയ്ത് തരാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോടി.
I have a question to the audience and the sociology department. Can we possible to build up an alternative support system, psychosocial support system, as I suggested? Is it possible? Is it going on, or is there any possibility of building up an alternative psychosocial support system? Already a social support system is there in the school system. The school people are doing a very good job, but the school system alone cannot serve the actual need of the society. So there is a necessity for building up an alternative psychosocial support system in the സ്കൂൾ. ഇപ്പം കുറെ കുട്ടികളെ നമുക്ക് വോളണ്ടറി കൗൺസിലേഴ്സ് നിങ്ങളുടെ MSW കുട്ടികളെ ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ കുട്ടികളെ വെച്ചിട്ട് ഏരിയ ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ആ ഏരിയ വൈസ് ആയിട്ട് can we provide psychosocial support system at the community level?
Yes, sir. Actually, at the panchayat level, the Jagrata Sam is supposed to function well when I had inquired about the existing system. But at present, in the current context, in Kerala context, it's not effectively working. Some of the panchayats have developed a child-friendly approach, in Thrissur and all. A few of the panchayats has developed those kind of approach, which was developed by Kila, and it has been implemented. But as such, it is not implemented all over the state. This community system is essential. I think after elaborated discussion in our university also, we have come up with a plan where the students will be working at the panchayat level or at the ward level with the support system from the panchayat secretary, president, and the standing committee members, and where the panchayat itself can have a strong system, and maybe the social workers can be appointed at the panchayat level in a long term, where they can address the child-centered services, because though we have a lot of services in schools and we have with the district child protection units, it's more or less it's based either on in the school, or it's based on institutional and non-institutional services by the child protection services. But someone has to be there at the panchayat level to coordinate all these facilities to the child at the ward level or panchayat level. And I think this role can be taken up by the social workers. Currently, maybe the social work trainees can take it up on an experimental basis, which is a proposal that our university has developed. And maybe in the longer run, this can be taken up by the government. We can have child-friendly counselors who can see which families are vulnerable. Like that, I think maybe ward-wise list can be made up on which of the families are vulnerable, which children are more prone to these kind of vulnerable situations, maybe the areas where domestic violences are more rampant, where there is a likelihood of poverty, or like all the limitations that a child can have, and maybe the vulnerability with regard to all the indicators can be listed out. And I think this child-friendly social worker can serve as a mediator between the panchayat and the government's other supporting networks.
ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചത് സ്കൂൾ നമ്മുടെ സെന്റ് ജോസഫ് സോഷ്യൽ
College,
ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിന് can they do some work? Are they doing? ഫാദർ ജോൺസൺ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ശശി സാറോ ടോമി സാറൊക്കെ പറയും.
Yes, actually, we are thinking of this webinar is conducted in the pretext of such thoughts, sir. Actually, we want a kind of a input session. Actually, we are in the process of doing so. Actually, already we thought of getting a resourceful feedback and input from others. We are thinking of and coordinating this kind of activities.
So my suggestion is you are having sociology students, MSW as well as PSW students are there. So students can be allotted their locality. So locality in their own native locality. So they can work at the local level in unison with the panchayat people. So they can
exactly.
Actually, it will be we can provide human resource in terms of social workers. So social worker provide human resource local level panchayat they can pool and they can utilize. So that actually we need a lot of qualified people, trained people for doing this building up psychosocial support system. So that kind of activity can be very well easily done. We discuss the issues അവരെ ഒരു രീതിയിൽ അവരെ അവരെല്ലാവരും ഇത് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, അപ്പൊ അവർക്ക് അറിയാമല്ലോ. Already they are exposed.
So actually, social work schools and colleges can taken up this task. Actually, many of them already in the field providing telecounseling and so on. Moreover, maybe as you suggested, they can be in the field very concretely, having a kind of training and so on. Actually, if it is coordinated well, I think social work colleges can do wonders actually in this pandemic context.
ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ നീഡി സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ് ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ
Yes sir. Actually, it is a good suggestion, coming suggestion. So as Father Johnson rightly pointed out, one of our objectives behind this seminar by selecting this topic is to have some sort of follow programs. So we have field action projects, so we will take up this, but we request your support also, sir, because the students need to be trained.
Okay, definitely we can train them. We can train them. Then actually, in a nutshell, what are the things to be looked into the psychosocial situations that we have already discussed? Now it is an action form. You have to prepare an action form.
Exactly.
And they can coordinate. The college can coordinate this your students with the local community level. That is very important. That is important issue. Important thing.
Yes,
along with that, actually, other social work colleges also have to bring in their students into the field. Actually, maybe this kind of webinar would really motivate them for the field action, I suppose.
We can also rope in the service of Panchayat Raj institutions also, because that is very important, because local government institutions are taking care of these issues of children. And also my suggestion is, because since Dr. Jayaprakash is state level committee member, a committee appointed by the Honorable Chief Minister, because we can take up this issue at a higher level, because in future course of time, all these Panchayat Raj institutions should redesign their child related and ICDS projects in such a way to take care the needs of the children during pandemic. So they also to be trained. I think you are also an extension faculty member of Kerala Institute of Local Administration and Institute of Management in Government, because all these both of these two institutions are pioneer in training the government as well as other non-governmental people.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Of course.
This is Jayanta Kolita from Assam. I have a question. Sir, could you explain what is the difference between mental health and emotional health?
Actually, mental health and emotional health, actually, colloquial in the usual manner, there is no much difference. But the mental health involves the intellectual ability also. Emotional health doesn't may or may not include the intellectual component. Mental health include the intellectual component also. Intellectual situation means finding out a solution for the particular situation. That is the intellectual component. Not the scoring of marks alone. So it is how you are facing a situation, how you are able to cope up with a particular new difficult situation, how you are able to solve the problem and arrive at some decision making process. That is the intellectual component. Mental health includes the intellectual component also. Emotional means the emotional health actually involves the emotional content of the mental health. Actually, mental health includes both intellectual as well as emotional health. But emotional health doesn't mean that may be associated with the intellectual component.
Thank you.
Mental health is inclusive term for emotional health.
Yes. Thank you, sir, so much.
Okay.
Is there any other questions? If any other participants, or I think we'll go on to the final part of the program. കഴിഞ്ഞു തോന്നുന്നു. ഇനി ആരും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിക്കാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡിങ് അപ്പിലേക്ക് പോവാം. Okay, winding up session. So I think it was a very fruitful session with good inputs from Jaiprakash sir as well as from Joby, who is on the practical side. So we had a few discussion also, and I think the St. Joseph's College will be going to implement whatever suggestions that has been put forward by Jaiprakash sir. We have already taken an initiative to implement this program at least with a few of students in the place in the panchayats for the fieldwork program. So I think as Father Principal Johnson Simeti has rightly pointed out, if all the institutions of social work can come out and do direct interventions with the panchayat, with all the good support system of the student social work student community, I think they can make a really great impact on our society. So thank you for such a fruitful session. Over to you, Arati.
ഞാനൊരു കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞോട്ടെ. അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു സെഷന്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രൂട്ട്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് ആവണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ സം വർക്ക് ഷുഡ് ബി പ്ലാൻഡ് ആൻഡ് ഷുഡ് ബി ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റഡ് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ ദ ഡ്രെയിനേജ് ഏരിയ ഓഫ് ദ സെന്റ് ജോസഫ് കോളേജ് for the locality of your students.
Yeah.
Yes,
Anitha
we'll do, sir.
Anitha madam also.
I think we'll join or like-minded institutions.
We'll cooperate with other institutes also.
I will provide whatever the needs, especially the planning, the training, and that I will help you.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
We will get back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Arati?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are moving towards the end of the session. I invite Ms. Ninette H for delivering the vote of thanks.
Thank you. A very warm good evening to one and all who are present here. Honorable guest, respected principal, vice principal, teachers, and dear participants. Thank you all for spending your valuable time with us on the first day of the Avancer Webinar Series 2020 journey. Today, we have with us our presenter, Dr. Jayaprakash R., child psychiatrist and additional professor and head, Behavioral Pediatric Unit, SAT Hospital, Tirunelveli Medical College. Sir, on behalf of St. Joseph's College, Pilattara and Department of Social Work, I thank you for being here with us today and for your very informative and wonderful presentation. We really learned from your presentation about various issues the children are facing during COVID-19 pandemic period and practical solutions to address it. The talk was really interesting and useful for the social work fraternity. Thank you, sir. Our heartfelt thanks goes to Dr. Anida A., Assistant Professor and Teacher in Charge, Department of Social Work, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Regional Center Payyanur, the moderator of today's session. Thank you, Madam, for your excellent moderation and for sharing your thoughts. Our thanks are extended to Mr. Joby AP, District Childline Coordinator, Trivandrum, for sharing his experience in working with child issues that would really help us in our field practicum. I thank our beloved principal, Dr. K.C. Muralitharan, who has been in the forefront of the academic development of our college and is very keen in the professional development activities of the students. Thank you, sir, for your encouragement and being here with us today. I thank our Vice Principal and Head of the Department of Social Work, Father Johnson Simeti, for making the introductory speech and for the guidance. Thank you, Father, for your care and support. Our teachers are our ideals, and that is why we are grateful to them. They inspire us to achieve success in this world and are always ready to help us. I thank all our teachers for their presence and continued support. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants from various disciplines for attending the webinar. On behalf of St. Joseph's College, Pilattara and Department of Social Work, once again, I thank you all for your presence and making this evening enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. Here is an end to the first session.
Excuse me, Tommy sir അല്ലേ? Tommy sir എന്നെ കണ്ടില്ലല്ലോ.
ടോമി സാർ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
Some network issue, sir.
ആണോ?
He was there.
He was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I continue?
Yes, Arathi.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Here is an end to the first session of Avancer Webinar Series 2020. I thank all the participants who have accepted our invitation and gathered here for the webinar. Tomorrow, the second session of the webinar, we will have the sub-theme Mental Health Challenges of Adolescents and Youth during COVID-19, which will be presented by Dr. Josie K. Thomas and Dr. Kavita Manoj will be the moderator of the session. Expecting your esteemed presence for sharp at 6 p.m. Till then, take care and goodbye.